Hey, what's up? This is Crystalis Dota. I usually don't go into stories that are so, player-based or region-based, but I felt like this was something worth sharing, and I want the world to know about it. Yes, death, real-life death, has occurred in the Dota community. Can you believe it? Yes, this is a story of three friends that go out to a nearby city to attend a Dota tournament. In the journey, while the whole journey, a terrible event takes place. Imagine waking up, knock knock, who's there? It's the police. To your shock, to your surprise, you open the door. Yes, how can I help? But to your agony, your eyes see what's in front of you. It's your poor child, shot dead. There's nothing you can do. You strike in pain and scream. This is a story of three children, three Dota players. Two of them who are missing, one dead, one missing, and the third, well, he has another tale for himself. According to the chain of tweets that are arriving, and also according to an article on GMANnetwork.com, which is a major television and radio network in the Philippines, Joshua Laxamana, Julius Santiago Sebastian, and a third unnamed friend left their hometown of Tarlac City on the 14th of August to attend a Dota 2 tournament. The tournament was at Baguio City, 140 kilometers away. That's about 90 miles. Now think about it, that's a very far distance. And when you're traveling a far distance, especially in a remote country, in a remote land, where there's not a lot of security, where there's a lot of gangsters around, drug dealers around, and a lot of kidnapping, what would happen? Yes, the tale of these three boys would go south. All three of the friends, they make it all the way to the destination. Yes, they attend the tournament. However, on their way back, disaster strikes. Lightning hits. The third friend says that on their way back, he stopped to get some rest while Laxamana and Sebastian decided to go on. You see, these three friends would split apart. It was nighttime and they were traveling. They thought they could make it. They were brave enough to go out, but disaster struck. Yes, guys, this is what the third friend says, the person that remains unknown. He doesn't want to give away his name because he feels like the Filipino community, his name would get tarnished. The world would say bad or mean things towards his family, and he could not have that. But despite that, he says, he stopped to get rest while the others pushed on. When he reached his hometown, he found that neither of his friends had made it back, even though they were hours ahead of him, even though they decided to go on without him. Now, was that the devil's luck, or was that God's protection? Or was this third person the real culprit? Did he set up his other two friends? Who knows? These are mysterious questions indeed. We don't know what really happened. According to the local police, Laxamana, after coming across a police checkpoint, had fired on the officer and had been killed in the subsequent exchange of gunfire. Now, a Dota 2 player was accused of shooting the police officer? This is very absurd. Regardless of that, the police also claimed that Laxamana was driving a stolen motorcycle, which is directly counter-argued by his mother. She claims that this police officer was telling a lie, especially because her son cannot drive a motorcycle. Apparently, Laxamana shot a police officer, and the police officer retaliated and killed him. Could this be true? Or was this made up? You see, when you're in another country and you're going through dark areas, when there's not a lot of protection, not a lot of cameras, and not a lot of people that are truly fighting for justice, there are a lot of corrupt people out there. Corrupt meaning they do what they want for money. They're flawed. They're disgusting human beings. And at the end of the day, how can you trust this police officer? You're not sure if the police officer is telling the truth. Whether it's the Philippines, whether it's the Bay of Indonesia, whether it's the streets of Sylhet, Bangladesh, whether it's the local bodegas in Lahore, Pakistan. You never know what could happen. You never know if you are safe anytime. Corruption is everywhere. It's like a virus that never stops spreading. like chickenpox. The police are corrupt, the governors are corrupt, the local people are corrupt. Everywhere there's corruption. So yeah, whether the police are telling the truth, whether the local people are telling the truth, we don't know. Now, I don't know if you guys are understanding. Basically, the kids that went to play Dota in Philippines, they died. They died, and the police are saying or making up a bogus story, a fake story to cover it up. You see, the government of Philippines, they have a strict law. The president of Philippines, Rodrigo Duterte, is currently waging a highly publicized war on drugs in his country. And in the past, he made statements like this: if you know any addicts, go ahead and kill them yourself. And such, because of these drastic measures, especially mandated by the president, the local street police officers, they think it's okay to shoot on sight, even if it's the wrong target. So it looks like they made up the whole story. They planted drugs on Laxamana, and they accused him of having a stolen motorcycle. How could he have a stolen motorcycle if his parents clearly say that their son cannot drive a motorcycle? You see, this story is very devastating, and it really should strike your heart. If you're anywhere in the whole world, you should read or listen to this story, because how would you feel if your son, your child, your brother was in this situation? How would you feel if your family member went to play a e-sport game, regardless if it's a computer game, whether it's a regular game? How would you feel if your family went to play a sport game, and then when he was coming back, as he was traveling back home, your loved one was shot and murdered on the street? He was shot and killed. How would you feel? This is the real story of 3 players. 2 of them that are still gone. One has died, another that is completely disappeared and perhaps also dead, and the third, he chooses to hide his identity because he's so scared. We don't know if he's a culprit or not. It's just sad. This is how the world works. At the end of the day, the lesson is this: money corrupts every man. Yes, some people can use money in a positive way, but in this story, money is what controls the person. It controls their mind and soul, and it makes these police officers corrupt. One more thing to add is that Laxamana, he was labeled as a notorious gangster by the police officer, and they said that he had a tattoo of a criminal. He had a gang tattoo, but that was also false. You see, the police officer did not know what the tattoo was, but the tattoo was of a Dota hero. It was Queen of Pain. So imagine a top Dota 2 player being a notorious gangster. Would you believe that, son? Would you believe that? I don't think so. You see, at the end of the day, we might be playing video games, but we have to remember that there's a real life out there. There's reality out there. And some people are dying. Now, it's our community that's being invaded. Dota 2 players trying to attend a tournament have passed away. They have died. This is a real story based on key evidence proposed by a photographer in the Philippines. It's a story that took place in the Philippines. I hope you guys enjoy, and if you want, you can subscribe to Crystalis Dota.